It was a dark and stormy night. Detective Sarah Parker stood outside the entrance to the abandoned building, rain pouring down on her. She rubbed her hands together to warm them up, feeling a chill run down her spine. The building was notorious for being haunted, and she had always been skeptical of supernatural occurrences. But tonight, she was about to face a mystery that would challenge her beliefs. Sarah was called to the scene by the owner of the building, who claimed to have found a black box on the property. The box was said to contain information that could destroy the city, and the owner was afraid it would fall into the wrong hands. Sarah was skeptical, but she had to admit that she was intrigued. She entered the building and made her way to the room where the black box was said to be. The air was musty and damp, and the sound of rain echoed through the halls. As she approached the room, she felt her heart racing. She had a feeling that this was going to be a long night. Sarah pushed open the door and stepped inside. The room was empty, except for a small table in the center. On the table was the black box, a plain metal box with no markings. Sarah approached it cautiously and unlifted the lid. Inside, she found a small notebook and a USB drive. She opened the notebook and began to read. The notebook was filled with cryptic messages and codes. Sarah had no idea what they meant, but she could feel the weight of the information they contained. She inserted the USB drive into her laptop and started to read the contents. As she read, she felt a chill run down her spine. The information was shocking, and she couldn't believe what she was reading. The city was in grave danger, and she was the only one who could stop it. Sarah was determined to uncover the truth, no matter what it took. She worked late into the night, piecing together the information in the notebook and the USB drive. The more she read, the more she realized that she was in over her head. The forces she was up against were powerful and dangerous, and she wasn't sure she could stop them. As she was working, she heard a noise behind her. She spun around, her heart racing. A figure was standing in the doorway, shrouded in darkness. She reached for her gun, but it was gone. The figure stepped forward into the light, and Sarah saw who it was. It was the owner of the building. He had been working with the forces she was up against all along. He had used her to get the information he needed, and now he was here to silence her. Sarah's mind raced as she tried to figure out what to do. She was trapped, with no escape. The owner approached her slowly, a smile on his face. Sarah could see the greed and lust for power in his eyes. She had to think fast. She grabbed her laptop and swung it at the owner, hitting him in the head. He stumbled back, and Sarah made a run for the door. She raced through the halls of the building, the sound of footsteps echoing behind her. She had to find a way out. She reached the entrance and pushed open the door, but the owner was waiting for her. He had a gun in his hand, and he aimed it at her. Sarah knew she had to act fast. She grabbed a nearby rock and threw it at the owner, knocking the gun out of his hand. She then ran into the rain, not looking back. She knew she had to get to the police station and turn over the information she had found. But she also knew that the owner would be hot on her heels. She ran as fast as she could, the rain soaking her to the bone. She could hear the sound of the owner's footsteps getting closer and closer, but she refused to give up. She finally reached the police station and burst through the doors, panting and soaking wet. She told the officers what had happened and showed them the information she had found. They were shocked, but they quickly sprang into action. They issued a city-wide alert, warning everyone of the danger that was looming over them. Sarah worked tirelessly with the police to unravel the mystery and stop the forces that threatened the city. They discovered that the owner of the building had been working with a group of rogue scientists who were developing a dangerous new technology. The group planned to use the technology to take over the city and gain control of its people.
Sarah and the police worked around the clock, gathering evidence and tracking down the group's members. Finally, they had enough evidence to arrest the group and take them into custody. Sarah breathed a sigh of relief as she watched the group being led away in handcuffs. She had saved the city, but it had come at a great cost. In the end, Sarah was hailed as a hero. She was given a commendation by the police department and praised for her bravery.